So I'll be sharing today, I got a message from the universe at some point, it's a few years ago. I wrote it down. You do not need to approach anyone as other to begin with. No one said your view was false or wrong. You felt defensive and threatened because you're used to that in survival mode. But what a gift to lay and bask in the light without worrying about others also in the light. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Maybe the arrogance you have is just from fear. The religious ways may be very deep in your identity, and maybe someone offering a different outlook is unfamiliar. Just make some space to be a human being. We're all making mistakes, but it's all perfect, and we are instruments of God. If you deny the voice of others, you deny the voice of God in all its dynamic, everlasting, infinite expressions. It's a great practice to see us as reflections of you. Yes, we all want to be happy. We all want to feel the light. Many are in darkness. Focus on loving everyone because it will always just be your own reflection. Life is most precious. Seeing bad, not good, and seeing wrong, not right, is a chance to unify with like what you're rejecting, because you're rejecting God when you do this. You're rejecting the perfection and grace of the Almighty. It can all be good and right. Whatever you refuse to accept or whatever you judge is what becomes wrong and bad, and a vision of bad and wrong is about your own needed purification. It's a feeling of death during the transformation, the ego to die. For the ego to die. I feel mine is very strong, so I'm giving myself, or I'm giving you your dignity. It's like when someone doesn't wipe their ass and smells like shit and walks around complaining about the bad smell, the wrong smell, but they're the carrier. If they learn to wipe their ass, they won't smell bad or wrong anymore. People may have not invested in you by teaching you that you have the power to remove the labels and language of bad and wrong, but here I am telling you that you can totally let all that go and let it all be love and light and good, sending the holiest vibes. I love you very easily. And then I wrote, like, in order to how to look at those suffering, it's like confronting basically my own shame, embarrassment, failure, abandonment, loss of control, and fear, is to embody radical, unconditional love, to know we all have divine souls, and to hold space for the tormentedness, to have boundaries that are clear of self and self-protection and limits. Don't despise those who self-despise, and believe in those who don't believe in themselves. I've been chosen as well to reveal the light in the darkness too, and take personal responsibility to stay connected and to have faith and trust of God. And I'm going to share, there's somebody called Yogi Bhajan. It says, quote, "If I can't see God in all, then I can't see God at all." So getting more selfish is to take what I need in each moment and not pre-condemning anything or anyone, because I'm not necessarily for light and love, just one channel. It'll come to them via the appropriate way. Like, I'm not necessary for their way. It's relieving the codependency of carrying someone else's burden and receiving all love, whatever way it comes to me. Creating space for acceptance and not needing anyone to love me right. All love is welcome. Care, acceptance, understanding, time and attention. Access, knowing I can contact them for support. Listening, validating, keeping their word, effort. I'm going to read it again. This is a list of ways of love. Care, acceptance, understanding, time, attention, access, knowledge, listening, validating, I can contact them for support, and keeping their word and effort. It frees up the energy of fighting with anyone, because it doesn't matter how they see me, the sense of self to foundation into and grow upon as a vertical seeking rather than a horizontal, like inward, up and down, rather than like looking outside on all the levels that I'm at. Trusting that I'm provided for because I'm worthy and deserve it, because I'm meant to be here, and losing is also winning, not getting hung up on every little shiny thing or every little annoying thing. Transformation is really an integration. It's the self-reflection, the self-correction, that my unique individual giftedness exists, that it gives everyone else permission to do that so for them. It's authority of me, it's an inner truth, it's a choice. It lets them do the same. Integrity is regardless of everyone else, whether it's easier or they're non-reactive. Still having integrity means doing it anyway. Tuning in, people would think, oh no, that's, let's say you're practicing self-control and not answering back, and the person is being nasty and you don't answer back. You're still having self-control, you're having integrity. It's actually selfish, because if you're worried about them, you would answer back. But actually you could practice just being selfish and not wasting your energy on that. Tuning into the here and now every time we can, and learning how to not have to always talk, but to listen. What a joy to be able to listen, to not have the need, to not be a prisoner of the need to talk and to defend. We can open to all the pathways and teachings of the good, the light, the wisdom, the opportunities will all come. Everyone will come to. And I will share one last topic, which is, doesn't anyone live life while they got it? And family teaches us closeness, trust, loyalty, commitment, sharing and taking and receiving, even asking, and jealousy and possessiveness and vengeance. Family doesn't dissolve as quickly. Family is a place you need to be sincere in. And I felt like when I was writing this that I was on borrowed time, constantly bartering goodness for life. I'm working out soul stuff, then I'm gone. Don't need to take on any new attachments or dependencies, otherwise I'm creating new cycles. And I wrote this to myself, there's not much to mourn, but it does break my heart. Like, that version of me said, I'm not going to give birth and may never marry. So that was like an acknowledgement that I can't live for the sake of having children and marrying. It has to be for another reason. And I wrote that it leaves me in tears, but God will never know what it's like to be just Shayna, me. I feel so alone and afraid, realizing my humanity keeps me apart from God. That, again, there's not much to mourn, but if it does break my heart and leave me in tears, then it's like being promised that we could die peacefully. Like I wrote, I was promised I could die peacefully in my sleep, but that I could still mess it up. I don't know if it's guaranteed. And like I could give back Binyamin, Naphtali, Adam, all the ones that like I wanted to be for my own. They weren't given to me by God. It seemed like, because it was so much work. So it was like one soul for the world, one soul for the collective, leaving them behind, releasing to God. And it feels like God doesn't know what it feels like to let a loved one fade, to accept the reality that it would be unholy for me to force it or barter. Just feel like I'm selling myself would be the devil's work. I'd like to think I have one true soulmate, even just for a bit. And I must be here for a reason, I don't know what. So in this self-reflection, self-correction, and I'll end here, is that I'll use that quote again from Yogi Bhajan. If I can't see God in all, then I can't see God at all. It's about intimate relationship through life with God, no matter what. And selfishness of the true self. And the universe of the true self. And how to look at those sufferings, how to look at our own suffering. Be well. Bye.